tall, graceful, and willowy, with long dark brown hair, soft round face, and an evenness of feature and form. Esmeralda was the beauty of the village in 1782. This was her 18th year, and she blossomed from an attractive country girl into a young maid with all the grace and dignity of a high-born lady, daughter of a farm worker who lived along Craft Lane. Some say her real father was a guest at the hall where her mother was a serving girl, but this was not so. Many a young lad dreamed of Esmeralda. Many a bold swain advanced his suit. Many a hopeful young boy sought for closer acquaintance, all seeking to inspire her mysterious smile, which began with a curve in her tender, sensitive lips, before it lit two stars in her sparkling brown eyes. But Esmeralda also dreamed, and she dreamed of a shifty, worthless young farmer from Roughton. He was already married, but typical of his sort, he merely desired further affirmation of his self-supposed charm and the compliment of his own self-supposed good looks. He encouraged her adoration, although he knew full well that he could never honour their relationship, nor make her life settled and secure. But full of quiet, contained longing, she forgot tomorrow, thriving in this illicit affair, and seemingly doomed herself to the fruits of passion. Life in those days held constraints that could not be imagined nowadays. The young farmer was persuaded to end the affair by the landowner and the rector, who threatened to restrict his livelihood if he did not play the faithful husband. Lacking the courage to face Esmeralda, he just stayed away, leaving her to weep and sigh in private. Maintaining her cool demeanour, she continued her life as a tired housemaid in Shrublands, the farmhouse at the end of Craft Lane, but inwardly her love gnawed at her vital life strings, and her elemental longings gradually rose to such a pitch that she could not be contained. Insanity. She had lately taken to lone night wanderings, and her favourite walk along Craft Lane, and thence by Sandy Lane to Hungry Hill, and so home again. On these night excursions, her tortured mind seemed to find relief in the physical excursion, but solitude distills unrequited passion into such a blinding spirit, and even baser instincts are disregarded. One night, one cold night, when a white full moon shone, and the silver world was iridescent in unnatural black and whites, Esmeralda moved along Sandy Lane and moaned in a will-o'-the-wisp manner. She passed a large open pit, its waters steely hard in the moonlight, and her wild spirit stood on the bank and gazed upon its surface. Was it a ripple? Was it a shadow? Was it the image of her lover's face? Without further thought, she jumped into the water to join her lover. Not until she jumped into the waiting water did reason come flooding back. As she felt its chilly embrace, she screamed a wild shriek that echoed in the hills and wakened dogs and people secure in their cottage beds. The second wail brought heads to windows, while some shivered in fearful sheets. They knew that something awful had happened, and as the third scream shivered onto the shriek, which ended sharply, the legend of the Shrieking Pits was born. Some say that on February 24th, at midnight, something can be heard and seen near the pit. I would not know for nothing would induce me to find out. Even on the sunniest day, The place is cool.